Socialism? Not on my watch, pal.
Venezuela, one of the richest countries in the world.
Here's prominent failed daughter Meghan McCain trying to call the cops on socialism by invoking the Republican Despacito, Venezuela.
Now, the average Venezuelan has lost 24 pounds, 90% of the country.
Yes, the situation in Venezuela is terrible. This is so sad. Alexa, play Venezuela.
For example, you know Venezuela, right? A majority of the country is currently eating rats. But I just told you Venezuela is eating rats.
But I just want people to have health care, honey.
There's no other way to do socialism without eating rats. I'm sorry. This is canon.
This is what I need from her. Name one country that socialism has ever worked.
Denmark, Finland, Netherlands, Norway, and this may shock you, but we have socialism here in the States. Many of our now impoverished institutions are socialist ones. Americans look back to a time with glee when everything was supposedly great, and that's a time when socialist values protected things like public school funding and infrastructure spending and strong labor unions, all of which support a strong middle class, but got eviscerated with tax cuts and ever-increasing corporate influence over government policy. Tax cuts that redistributed wealth back to the top, while making the ladder of upward social mobility even harder for many to climb. Our mixed economy in the US does feature socialistic elements, but you and your right-wing elite friends are just mad because Americans are waking up to the fact that the socialism we have in the US now primarily benefits the rich, and the rest of us are finally taking a stand by demanding that the nation's prosperity and productivity growth be more evenly shared by all Americans rather than just those leeches at the top like Meghan McCain. Also, Meghan, if you're so terrified of socialism, let me use the same dumbass Republican stance and say we should ship you off to an anarcho-capitalist paradise like Somalia.
In Somalia, half the population is running short on food after 2 bad growing seasons.
Since the collapse of a military dictatorship in 1991, Somalia has had the most decentralized government in the world since I've been alive. And yet the UN seems to consider the famine in Somalia one of the largest humanitarian crises since 1945. So I guess conservative principles don't work in Somalia. We should do communism here in the US now. Do you think that logic stands here? Because if you think that argument's stupid, because it is stupid, then stop taking idiots who invoke Venezuela seriously. Venezuela is a petro-state that's been actively squeezed economically by foreign attacks in the form of sanctions, while also the target of coups funded and supported by the US. Comparing bringing socialist policies to the US as becoming just like Venezuela is just as stupid as suggesting that supporting capitalist policies here makes us like Somalia. Wait a minute, let's get back to Meghan, the daughter of a great American hero.
If you think the government is so good at spending money, look at the VA.
Here's Meghan throwing Veterans Aid under the proverbial bus faster than John McCain could napalm a light bulb factory. What a goddamn patriot you are, Meghan. You hate socialism so much that you'll criticize the VA, which is currently severely underfunded, as your dad is currently being treated for brain cancer in that same VA. Are you kidding me? Why are you so afraid of socialism, Meghan? Is it because you're a proud beneficiary of intergenerational wealth and you're terrified that these socialists elected into Congress might reinstate the estate tax, so when your father does inevitably die, you won't have access to that same amount of wealth that you quote-unquote earned? I'm Hasan Piker. If you want Meghan McCain to go back to Somalia, please share this video with your friends. Also, please don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to download the TYT app. The Android one is coming soon. And this has been The Breakdown.